Okay, so third game is gonna be coming up. Skady is though only one game away from advancing into the third round of the tournament already. Apparently the next map for Bubes is going to be Medit, and he's gonna be playing Poseidon with him. Yeah, definitely likes Poseidon, and Medit is a good map for that. So why not? Why not indeed? So let's see what Skady is gonna be playing and showing against him. Or if maybe Bubes is gonna be having a full-on comeback in him still. Definitely does have the skill for that. So let's see. But that is what we're gonna be seeing. So there we are, game number 3 is up. She's going to be right about now resulting into Medit, the second home map for Matreiuss. He's going to be playing Poseidon, and against him is going to be Kronos. I saw it correctly, exactly. So there's going to be interesting actually matchup at this point. Basically Pestilence versus Deconstruction. So definitely looking forward to that one, as he should be having a hard time getting there in time for the Deconstruction on the first dock at least. But still, it could be quite annoying enough nonetheless, and anyway. So let's have a look at that. We're gonna be, of course, expecting nothing out of the ordinary all that much. Just basically standard advances about like 410 to 430. It's gonna be depending how quickly actually Bubes wants to be applying the God Power named Pestilence. I'm also curious how well Skady is gonna be guarding against that. So far it doesn't seem that it have to be all that well, because he's right now positioning the dock into the middle. So therefore, about second dock in this area, it's not gonna be a good idea. And in this area either. So I'm thinking he's gonna setting himself up for a bit of a problem as he's moving ahead. And it's still gonna be depending how well the reconstruction is gonna be countered, because right about now the villages certainly shouldn't be running all that much away. I'll be even kinda considering if maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to be having one of the villages basically just waiting next to the water, maybe going against the opponent, trying to find him. As apparently the deer is following for the lure. So the construction is gonna be in. He needs to be depositing at least the 4 food that is coming. Yeah, you can see already seeing him, so the village is moving forward. And it could be, of course, quite a neat trick at this point. If he didn't do that, he would be just basically wasting time of that one villager. Yep, exactly. Give back the food. And he was able to even get the fishing boat out. That's actually significantly important. I mean, like, still, Bubes is gonna be losing, like, 2 fishing boats during the build time. But still, much better. Much better than if he just basically didn't get even the second one. So I'm thinking at the timing is already slightly off for Skady, unfortunately. So Bubes might not be all that significantly hurt by all of that. Just looking like a good spot for a dock as well. Somewhere a bit close by, I'm thinking a bit more into the middle, so that he could be luring the enemy somewhere here. Yeah, exactly this way. Thinking it's slightly better, so that he could be placing a third one somewhere here, and therefore have basically just like Normandy right next to it. And very hard for the opponent then to do anything about that. So of course the boar is gonna be getting destroyed, and of course plenty of hunt is gonna be making the start quite easy for Mr. Bubes. All the way to the bottom, you're gonna be right now checking out how's it looking with Skady. He's gonna be getting another villager obviously, and so far we don't see the second dog, but obviously it's gonna be coming a bit later. Why would he be making it this early, this much early into the game? And it seems to me, looking at the threesome there, that maybe he could be positioning it about here, which would be, of course, way too close to each other. So therefore, Pestilence would be a real threat for him still. But what he also must be commenting on is the fact that there are TCs in water range. So whoever is going to be winning the water is going to be certainly having quite a solid chance how to overall control the late game. You can see both of these are in water range. There's going to be, no, good gold mines rather. Good gold mines right about now for Bubes, because they are quite far away. And there is a good chance that, for example, here, that could be the forest line all the way into the side of the map, which would be significantly helpful in overall protection. So on the other side, this one is maybe slightly tricky. I can imagine it be actually in range. Not too easily, but it might be getting a bit tricky, as this one is gonna be pretty much safe, this one as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it at this point. Skady is having all the oracles hidden to the top side, and it's gonna be curious to see if he's gonna be also trying to transport the temple about like this position, and trying to go for a bit of radiant with a few Prometheans. I mean, like against a Greek, it's usually not such a game-changing idea, as the first hero, the melee hero, can be basically getting rid of the Prometheans fairly easily. It's not much of a difference in there. You can see he's gonna be getting in favor, and apparently, oh well, I was thinking, is he gonna be going with the temple there? Nah, let's drop it on the enemy gold. Okay, so of course this guy now gonna be maybe a bit of a surprise. As I'm thinking that Skady might have been expecting that the Ares would be the god of choice for him, as I expected exactly the same. But no, Ace is going to be Hermes, and therefore fairly standard build-up. And I wouldn't be surprised all that much if maybe Bubes went for some Centaur raid a bit later. But so far, doesn't seem to be heading that way, but the temple is already in for Skady. And therefore, this gold mine is going to be getting a bit problematic, as the one to the right flank is a bit guarded by lions. So not entirely too simple and easy to get to begin with, as the dogs are kind of all across the place at this point. This definitely would have been in range of one pestilence, those two dogs. So it would be a tactical mistake for Red, but luckily for him, he's not going to be facing any kind of problem like that. So 3 Centaur is in. I'm right about now potentially destroying the Promethean if he's going to be careful enough, as the third dog is also in for Bubes, and therefore this is going to be a proper water battle without any kind of extra shenanigans. Actually wonder if he's going to be, rather what he's going to be doing with the reconstructions. I mean, like, looking at this, even like the single deconstruction really doesn't make all that much of a difference here. I don't think it's gonna be that much of a problem for Bubes at this stage, so I'm thinking maybe it would be a bit better to keep it for something a bit later. Ah, nice little play right about now by Skady. Get a bit of extra damage to the hero, maybe even into the Centaur in there. Very well done, but thing is, that he's probably gonna be getting also right now hammered from the backside by all the triremes, but so far the numbers are a bit disparate. So you're gonna be looking at a few. Oh, somebody's getting housed. Yep, right now finishing with the one to the top, but still needs to be getting a few more in there. But at this point he's having quite enough of them, and if he's gonna be taking it carefully now at the beginning, then he doesn't have all that much of a problem with how the things are going. Really not. I wanted to check the relics here. If there's something changing. So town center population slots, that's actually nice. Wall hit points, but sometimes there are relics for example, building shooting, increased damage by shooting buildings. So that would be really helpful, for example, on True Dogs. I think it should be also working for them. I mean, like, they're buildings, they're shooting, so makes sense. But nonetheless, we are gonna be, of course, waiting for potentially Bubes to be pulling back a bit more, and therefore also some depositing of the fishing boats, so that he does have the extra shooting. It's not exactly right now happening. So far, there are plenty of Birames, and they are definitely growing in numbers. You can see about like 13, 14, but there are still 11 Triremes, and therefore, since there are so much stronger boats, oh, somebody falling for the chitin in there. That's somebody being matreiuss, unfortunately. It seems to me that the battle is gonna be fairly equal, especially if it's gonna be fought all the way to the top here. Therefore, the defender's advantage with the boats being into the fight a bit faster is gonna be also quite real. And you can see how he's completely wrecking the opponent. And that is gonna be yet again a bit of a chitin, but unfortunately this time Skady didn't exactly lure any kind of boat after him. So good job by Bubes, maybe just a bit lucky that nothing was aggroed. As you can see, there was a bit of a pull by this one and those two boats in the middle. But it seems to me that Bubes is really doing quite a good job and consistent one right about now on the water, and he's gonna be forcing the opponent into quite a heavy defensive at this point. So, all the way to the top, there is gonna be of course fight against the temple, and it's something that actually Skady has to be careful about. And not to forget, because if he does, then still, I mean, like, it is resources. Temple is still 100 and 100, and that's not exactly too few. Too few resources, that basically one extra boat, almost two for him. No, not exactly almost, but basically one and extra. And something along those lines in there. As this poor boat is gonna be getting destroyed, you can see Hippocampus definitely could be used a bit more. 69% pierce armor is a solid damper and tank. So you should be using him as basically extra unit, basically the same as Pegasi, just to soak up the damage from the Birames and nice maneuvering at this point, and letting him basically be useful and make it harder for the opponent to play. Nonetheless, this water battle really seems to be at this point heading into some kind of comfortable position for Bubes, but as we know, as we full well know, that could be quite easily changing as soon as basically one of them is gonna be slacking off, and by one of them I mean Bubes. Then the opponent could be still continuing with the Birames and then suddenly overpowering him out of nowhere. It is something that happens actually more often than you would be maybe even expecting, and that is exactly because the dogs are very hard to take down, and they also do have the shooting capability. Therefore, there is still a reason to be fighting for it, even after it seems that you might have lost it. If your opponent is gonna be letting up and not finishing properly, then There's almost always a good chance that you might be making a comeback. Unless here on the water, in the middle of it, it seems to me that Bubas is really right now asserting dominance. And you can see that Skady is definitely recognizing it, going for the second TC, the same as Bubas though. They're gonna be coming for the other sides, apparently, curiously enough. So there should be a bit of scouting, I'm thinking, for Bubas on the right flank, just to make sure. And he probably is gonna be having quite a good chance of taking this town center for himself. So that's something that he could be thinking about. So all the way to the bottom, just a few boats kind of chasing this one, but the rest of them are gonna be coming back because Skady is realizing that right about now most damage that he could be doing is just raiding the echo and just basically forcing Bubas to be staying on the water longer than maybe he would even want. But you can see nothing new is being made. This is gonna be pretty much just a mop up. But as for the opponents, exactly the opposite. You can see exactly the trap is going on. 7 BRMS here. 5 or rather 6 BRMS here. That's 13 BRMS. And right about now, 3 TRMS. Right about now, 17 TRMS. And nothing is being made here. This is exactly textbook what I was talking about. Okay, let's see if it's gonna be working. I'm thinking it will. Because at this point, he's just basically absolutely not letting it on. And he's preparing a trap. And so far, the TCs are going up in pretty much like the same timing. So I don't think that's much of a difference in there completely. Though, of course, Red is slightly losing on the water economy. You can see it's going to be on 30 TC at the same time for Bubas. With all the mining camps all across. As you can see, even a bit of army by military barracks. Mining camps, lumber camps rather, to the top side. And stable and archer range for a combination of unit. And there it is. That was the ejection, right? Yep. That definitely was that. And you can see right about now Bubas realizing, oh crap. And he's casting ceasefire to basically just save himself there. And that's already a bit of a victory for Skady, to be honest, because this is gonna be allowing him to continue with the water economy the same. He's forced his opponent to use a very important tactical god power. For example, for stealing town centers and everything like that. Very well done. Indeed, as at this stage is going to be also just a bit of attempt right now by Bubas to control the right side, but he needs to be going a bit more here as well to finish with the wall in a bit later, but stable, nice idea. Unfortunately for Skady though, he's not going to be able to use this opportunity to take the TC, and it seems to me that Bubas might be actually interested in a bit more in the go in there. You can see even some kind of seppuku for a few oracles, so that you're not going to be wasting the population limit for more, or rather for stronger units for Skady. Kind of liking the positioning of the stable and the archer range, basically like a artificial wall here, protecting the TC so that he doesn't have to be investing in the wall. But I still would definitely scout this part of the map, because I'm not 100% convinced that it really is completely blocking off the path into his base there. Nonetheless, Hippocamp apparently dying right about now from all the extra damage. You can see all the dogs are gonna be shooting as they should be, and there's gonna be just a bit. This is gonna be all about proper micro. You can see about like 20 plus BRMS in there. The BRMS are definitely not that numerous, but they at least having some kind of assistance from all the boats. From all the dogs. And it seems to me though, still, that Skady is gonna be winning this. Is he having some... No, I was just kind of expecting maybe he could be having like copper shields or something. Apparently neither side is having that. Nothing is even being researched. So yeah, that was one hell of a comeback on the water. And exactly as I said, the water is not done unless the enemy is without docks on Titans. It really isn't. So very well done. You know, right about now checking all the way to the left side, where apparently... Oh, that's costly. Skady was going for the front TC and he lost 2 citizens in the process. Now, well, at least he won the water, but still, that is really bad. That is really bad indeed. He's gonna be trying to drop the temple. As... Did he lose that one? Yeah, he did. He actually lost that temple to the top side, so he wasn't paying enough attention in there in the end. That's unlucky. That is significantly unlucky, as apparently right now the archers versus boats is an interesting battle. Losing the life of the centaur, which is kind of needless, but still. It is a bit of fun for Skady in there, I'm thinking. But we need to be keeping an eye on what's being actually researched and what's being done. Plow for Skady. Bubas doesn't have resources for Heroic Age. His opponent... Kinda either, but he's actually slowly, or rather slowly getting there, and he's slightly closer to the success of that. But problem is that right about now he's getting also raided on the right flank by another military barracks, military academy rather, with the stable, and therefore this gold is not gonna be safe for him. And considering that he has either those, he has only 2 gold mines available to him at this point. This is looking like a pretty good spot for Bubas to be pushing on. Right, he needs to be concentrating a bit more on this side, because the one on the right side is a bit more, I'm thinking, easy to cover for Skady because of the town center in there. But nonetheless, still at least one village dead. That's 3 citizens dead in the last about like a minute. That's actually not an insignificant amount for him. Straight about now, Bubas is coming back into the water yet again with more triremes, and you can see what kind of ebbs and flows actually are going on the water. So at this point, Bubas was the one who was keeping the triremes hidden and then ejected and completely destroyed Skady's armada, who wasn't producing anything new. So yep, that's the water. Really not done until it is really done. Well done. That was quite nice to see. Such kind of upending of... and subverting rather of expectations of the water battle in there. Nonetheless, this is gonna be right now another attempt by Bubas, rather by Skady, to get the TC, and right about now he's having quite a scary army, so I'm thinking he's gonna be succeeding this way. And this time, doesn't seem likely that he's gonna be really allowing anybody to be stopping him. Seems highly unlikely. He's basically just trying to lure the army right next to the RMS. Nice catch, the hero Murmillo there at least. But nonetheless, of course, the TC is gonna be finished. I don't think there's much of a question about that. But still, it's gonna be quite a lot later after Bubas with the 3rd TCs, as Aphrodite, Shaft my medium infantry, medium archers. Good upgrades. Good upgrades indeed, as he's already in. And that's... no, I'm thinking that was a bit too hasty. I don't think that's not gonna be serving him all that well. I don't think it's gonna be making that much of a difference as far as the TC getting finished. But let's not be too hasty. Let's see. Let us see what's gonna happen, because there is yet another attack from the backside by Skady on the boat, so we can finally get rid of them. The citizens are doing what they can, so apparently even piggies are gonna be getting destroyed by the hoplits in that. That's how damn angry they are about all of this. The settlement is getting ever so close, right about now 300 hit points from getting finished. The army is also heading forward all the way from the right flank, as the military spam is definitely real, and Bubas is preparing for quite nasty things there. But TC is done, so therefore just confirming that the god power wasn't exactly all that needed to be cast there. But there's gonna be a temple coming forward, and I'm curious if Bubas is actually preparing for chimeras, or if he's preparing for Nemean lions. So medium infantry. Mythical Age, I'm thinking not exactly on the menu so far for blue. For Skady either. Okay, it's gonna be kinda curious. Now it's going to be following through at this point. For the Nemean lion and 250. You're gonna be looking at that, and well, village is of course being forced back. So as Bubas was having quite a nice idea how to basically control the opponent through just having military buildings absolutely everywhere. Well, he's gonna be having to take a bit of a backseat for that, and on that for a moment, because so far Skady is having quite a lot more and stronger army on the left side, but on the right side it's not entirely all that clear. You can see there is still raiding going on, but it's not like he's gonna be able to do anything significant with it. Can be probably going for the gold, but yet again it's quite close by here, and even though it's almost out, not almost, like 2/3 are out, there is still another pretty good gold mine, and maybe that's something that Bubas should be trying to sneak on from the backside. Drop like a fortress here, sneaky one, that the opponent probably won't be figuring out that there is something like that. So yeah, maybe something like that could be working, but he's definitely doing quite a good job with the Nemean lions, and you can see that they are certainly pulling their weight. As the Kronos is a little bit of a problem getting the heroes up into the battle, as the heavy hoplites are here. I mean, like, the heavy hoplites are not gonna be entirely all that great here, as for Zeus, obviously, against the buildings, but they're gonna be good as just a general unit. All that they're gonna be working out nicely, as he's getting closer and closer to the gold mine, and of course, kind of like halfway doing what I was talking about, protecting the gold mine and preventing it, but much more importantly, just basically dropping a fortress into enemy face like that. Now that is quite something, and you can see donkeys are dying, and they're gonna be dying in quite high numbers. As Heroic Age is seen with Hyperion, but what good is Hyperion when you don't have any kind of economy to support it with? Because that's already 2 citizens dead. There are gonna be so many more actually dying here, it seems, at least to me. Even though right now the army is slightly dwindling, and therefore it doesn't have to be all that 100% clear. As you can see, those Zero Murmilos are definitely doing their job, but the fortress, much more importantly, is actually finished with another citizen. That's like a 3rd citizen dead, 4th one on here, and 5th one on there, 6th one here. Oh my. Okay. Okay, so there's about like 6 citizens dead in the last minute in this fight. That's a brutality for Skady. And remember, he lost 3 a bit before. So basically he has lost already like nice citizens in this game. It's gonna be incredibly hard for him, and quite nicely hidden. Petrobolos behind the fortress, another one also coming forward. And it's gonna be resulting in true TC, quite inevitably getting destroyed. Quite a good job, by the way, shooting through the building. I basically shooting straight through. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, and it's going to be a GG already called. And therefore, we're gonna be seeing a game 4, as Bubes is right about now gonna be trying to mount a proper counter-offensive and maybe even a proper comeback. So there we go. That was a bit of raiding party from that we have seen last here. Just going for a bit of shooting on the villages in there, trying to prevent going for the gold, but very well played. Quite fun water battle, all together by Bubes. But the follow-through, that was the one that actually won him the game, more than anything else. Let's have a look into Bubes' score at this point, 4,776. We're in everything but mythology. That usually goes a bit easier for Skady, especially since Bubes wasn't exactly getting in favor too much. And you can see the difference in the economy. Significant. And still it took him such an effort to be completely and finally toppling the opponent. 11,000 resources more, and still you're struggling so badly to win the battle in there. Yeah, well, Atlanteans are really good. But not good enough for Bubes. And you can see the difference in the upgrades there. Skady at 5, 23 in the end for Bubes. That was just a question of time before that's gonna be working. Oh, 83 BRMS in the end. That comeback on the water by Skady was really excellent. That's exactly what I was talking about. And you should never underestimate your opponent. And you should also never overestimate your opponent there. That can be ways back into the water in Titans. And that's how and why the water can be also quite frustrating. Because the comeback possibility is really supported. Yeah, you can see a few ups as he was going a bit more chiefly up, or the ups more TCs. As the curve is a bit more steep, but the army, the military, pretty much the same like the whole time. You can see it was a drop for Skady when he was investing into Heroic Age, but he was able to get back from that. But Bubes was able to handle the situation from there, especially by quite nice creep from both sides of the map. GG.